No, no, no. You can't do that. You can't do that. Well, shit. Fucking Andy isn't here. That man has been sent to the commissioner's exempt list. He's on a 1-week suspension. So we have Shelly filling in. Andy will be back next week. He got canceled from the last 2 pods. Maybe the last 8 pods.
He got canceled himself, though.
Yeah.
He did that completely himself. Ain't nobody cancel him.
Oh my god, yeah. Andy's wilding.
He's scared.
He's out ordering a steak right now.
Oh,
Lucky
yeah,
bitch.
true.
Lucky
He's at
bitch.
Jocko's.
Yeah. He's vibing right now. So we got Shelly. She's a single mom. So she's gonna give the female perspective on all this shit. You've heard me and Andy talk about it, and I mean we have the same perspective as guys, you know. And Shelly, you have how old is your son?
He's gonna turn 4 in January, so he's 3.
He's 3. Okay. Do you remember how you found out you were pregnant?
Yeah. Well, obviously I missed my period, and I don't think I even like really took notice that I missed it until like 2 weeks later.
Okay.
And I didn't think anything. And I did take a pregnancy test, but I don't know if it was too early because nothing came up.
Okay.
And then the next month is when I missed it again, and I was like, oh, okay. And that's when I took a test and I realized like, oh shit, I'm pregnant. And I did hold it. I held it. How long did you hold it like before you told your parents?
2 days.
2 days? Okay, yeah, no, see, I waited.
How long did you wait?
I think I waited like a week or 2.
Oh,
maybe like
shit.
over 10 days. I think
couldn't keep it
almost
in.
2 weeks. No, I was petrified. As first like girl, Mexican girl, like full Mexican, both your sides, like completely cultured, and you're like, dude, as that first girl, I was petrified. So I held it and I was like, what am I going to do? First I was kind of like, fuck everybody else. What am I going to do? Like, what do I want to do? Before telling anybody. And
how many weeks were you when you found out?
I was 16.
You were 16 when you found out?
Yeah.
Okay. That's when you took the test, right? Your like at-home test when you found out you were 16?
Yes,
okay.
The second one.
So then you waited another week, 2 weeks, so you're almost
like
18?
2 weeks, yes.
So you're like 18 weeks
yes,
at that point. Okay.
Honestly, it was probably 2 weeks. I don't think it was a week. I think that's me being nice to myself, but I think it was more like 2 weeks. Yeah, and then so when my mom found out, she was like, what the fuck? Like, you're already 20 weeks in. Like, you're already first trimester out. Like, that's what the fuck? And she was so pissed, and I was expecting my... Dude, and the way she found out was sad, too, because I was holding it in, and I was trying to decide myself, like, what am I going to do? But I had already gone to Planned Parenthood and gotten some ultrasounds.
Yeah.
So I already had pictures and stuff, dude, and... It's so crazy how...
I'm gonna ask the question, but I already know the answer. Did you cry?
At what?
When you saw when you got the ultrasound?
No.
You didn't?
No.
What about when you walked out?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
I cried my fucking eyes out.
No.
For like 3 whole days.
You said I already know the answer.
I thought I knew the answer. Fuck, no, I didn't.
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
No, I didn't cry. I cried when I found out, but that was only more so because of the person's reaction, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
that was more so because of that. But no, when I got ultrasounds, I remember feeling happy. Like, I remember feeling happy, like, on a high that I hadn't ever been on. Like, okay. I was happy in a different way, and it was so crazy. It was so pure. But I got these ultrasound photos, and I put them in my purse, and I was just like, oh, whatever. And I kept them in my purse, like my personal purse, the one I was using at the time. You know, girls, like how we have like all kinds of different ones, but we have that one we use, you know, in that period. Okay. So I had them in there, and I was, you know, whatever. I would take them everywhere. And then one day my mom was looking for something, and she was looking for my stepdad's keys, actually. I remember now. And she was asking all of us if we had seen them, and I was like, no. I checked all my stuff. Like, I checked here, checked there, because we had gone to the beach. So she was asking us, and was like, no, I haven't found them. And whatever, my purse, all my shit, because we went to the beach, was still in the front of the house, and she went through it. she went through it just to make sure. She was just double checking. She wasn't even going through my shit like, oh, I'm about to find something. Like, she was just going through it to make sure. And she found the fucking ultrasound photos, dude. She came into my room and she threw the purse on the bed and she was like, what the fuck is that? She was like, what the fuck is that? Like, dude, it was so fucked up. Like, that is so...
That's the worst way.
That is the most fucked up way to find out. Like, how sad. And she was like, okay, well, you're going to go tell your dad. Like, she's like, you're going to... like, that was punishment in our house. Like,
tell
honestly,
your dad about it?
Yeah, because my dad... I don't want to say he wasn't in the picture. He was, but... there was things that happened at home where, like, my mom would kind of use him as a weapon and be like, okay, I'm going to tell your dad. Like, if you don't fix this or if you don't stop doing this, I'm going to tell your dad about this time.
Okay.
So then I'd be like, all right, fine. Like, fuck it. You guys found out. That's cool. But don't tell my dad, bro. So, like, when she found out, she was so pissed. She was like, you're going to go tell your dad today. Like, you're going to go tell him right now. So I was... you know, I was shitting bricks, and I went over to his house and I told him, and he was just like, well, you're gonna be fine. Like, he was just straight up,
he was
like,
chill about it? No
like,
way.
Dude, yes. And I was shitting bricks. Like, I was so pissed. My mom found out and I was scared. I was shitting myself. And then she was like, go tell your dad. And my dad was just like, well, but my dad's way of thinking at that point was kind of like, my dad's like very traditional Mexican. So at that point, he was kind of like, almost like, you're not my daughter anymore. Like, okay, like, you're like you're some other man's problem now.
Yeah.
Like, kind of shit. Like, as soon as I told him, I saw that in his face, that he was just kind of like,
okay, yeah,
like,
wow,
well, you're done. Yeah, dude, that was a crazy time.
That's wild.
How did your parents react?
So I made the mistake of calling them when I knew they were at like a baseball game at Cal Poly.
You made the mistake.
Yeah, so that was like the bad part of it, was that I called them in the middle of the game and I was like, hey, we need to talk. And they were like, okay, well, we'll be home like at 9 or something, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, I'll be here. And so me and my baby mama planned it so like she would tell hers at the same time I would tell mine.
Okay.
Right? So she was at her house telling her parents. I was at my house going to tell mine. And they got home and pretty much I just sat them down and I was like, hey, like, she's pregnant. She's 18 weeks along. We just found out like 2 days ago. I didn't know how to tell you guys. I'm sorry I made you like freak out at the baseball game, but that's what it is. And they were just like, they were disappointed just because, like, you know, they wanted me to wait longer. Like, my mom had my sister at 15 and my dad was like 17. So it was like,
they knew the hardship.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what was hard.
And I mean, I was 19, so I was still older than them, but they were still like, you know, it's gonna be hard. You're still gonna be a young dad.
Yeah, you still didn't have time, the full time to be a kid at least, and like fully find yourself.
Exactly, and like they were pretty much like, as soon as you said like you need to talk to us, they were like, we knew that, because like the same thing happened with my sister. When she found out she was pregnant, like she called them and was like, hey, we need to talk. And as soon as I called them and told them that, they were like, yeah. They said they left like early from the game and everything, and I was like, oh fuck. Like I feel even worse now.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't just tell them over the phone, and literally like 2 days I couldn't go longer than that. Like me and my parents are close enough to where like if something happens, like I'm gonna tell them. Like anytime like I was gonna do something kind of sketchy, before I would do it, I'd be like, hey, like I'm gonna go do this, just so you know. And they were like, all right, like that's fine, just like be safe or whatever. And then like if I did end up getting in trouble, they're always like, well, at least you told us, like we're not gonna be mad at you. Yeah.
Well, I told my parents alone, and then he told his parents alone, but I got there right after. Like, I honestly, this was so long ago that I don't even remember how I ended up there. But I ended up at his house. I can't remember if he called me over there or why the fuck I went over there. If I just went there on my own will, I can't remember. This was like over almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was at his house and it was like abruptly, I think, after he had just said it or just told them.
Oh,
And
God.
dude, I remember his stepdad. I remember his dad being like, um, well, this isn't like a fucking dog or like an egg you guys are gonna take care of, dude. And I remember I popped off. I remember I got so mad. Like, do you think that's that's what I think? Like, you think
Yeah.
me fucking 16 right here sitting down think I'm about to fucking birth a dog? Like, it's
Yeah.
something that can, like, bro, like,
Like, you understand, like, what the fuck's
yes,
happening. Yeah.
it's a hard time. I think
Yeah.
you were a little older than I was,
Yeah.
so I think for me it was a little bit harder. Like, my mom
Oh,
and
for
my
sure.
stepdad didn't talk to me for like a month, and we lived in the same home.
That's
So it
awkward.
was
Yeah.
and I remember barking at them. Like, I'm not someone that's very quiet. Like, I am submissive and I am, you know, I can let a lot of things fly, like, just because I have thick skin. But
Yeah.
I remember barking at them and being like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you're mad at me right now, but when the baby's born, you're gonna be in love, and that's fucked up. Like, it's fucked up that you're making me feel alone right now, and
Yeah.
you know, like,
You have a
it's
point.
really
Yeah.
hard. It's really
Yeah.
hard. But they had a point
But
too.
they have a point. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's a hard it's just a hard situation to be
Yeah.
in.
I didn't really have that, like, where they ignored me or whatever, but
Being the first girl of a
yeah,
Mexican
it's different.
household,
It's different.
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're raised like fully Catholic and
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
different.
that's
Going
very
to
different.
Mexico every year and like just being like that, and then, you know, they're just kind of angry over the fact that, I think more so your parents get angry and don't talk to you because it's like, fuck, like, now everybody, like, they're just trying to mentally prepare themselves for the shit that they're gonna be taken, like the shit that they're gonna have to take in for having to defend you.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously,
They're going to have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are going to talk.
Yes.
And that's annoying.
Yes, and that's annoying.
yes.
So I feel like now that I think back on it, in the moment I would bark back at them and I would be mad and I would be hurt, but which was, I mean, I had a point. I'm not gonna say, you know, that was completely wrong, but
Yeah.
I think I should have been a little bit more understanding.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's just more like dealing with friends or other family members judging in a way.
Yes. No,
Because I feel like as a
100%.
parent, like, they're going to reflect, like, your kid off of you.
Yes.
So, like, if your kid has a kid young, then
yeah, they're
it's
like,
gonna make them seem a certain way as a parent, even though
Yes.
it might not even be like that.
No.
You know, like,
I feel like you don't have control over your kids the way you think you do.
you never do.
And I think that's what parents have
everyone can
misconstrued.
attest
Yeah.
to that. Like, you can never control every single second.
Yes.
Because, like, I mean, there's going to be times, I mean, you're at school fucking 8 hours every day.
I know a lot of people who judged my mom back then. So this was like 5 years ago. And I know a lot of people who judged my mom at the moment whose kids now are not necessarily pregnant, but like, I mean, we're full, like, just honestly, everything goes back to like, we're full Mexican. And so like, people that were giving my mom shit or like talking shit on the low back then, now their kids are coming out as like openly lesbian and like, you know, doing OnlyFans and doing shit like that. And it's like, it's funny how the tables switch, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's why you can't judge, because
because
shit can flip in a second.
Yep.
And it could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, none of those things are terrible, but
No, none of
You
those
know.
are terrible, but it's like,
shit could flip.
yeah, but if you want to judge so easily on, you know, someone else's kid, you don't realize like what you're putting out into the universe for your child. So
Karma.
it's like it's
karma for
karma.
sure.
You have to, you just have to completely accept people for who they
sure.
are, even if they're different.
Yeah. So like after that, I want to say like after my parents found out, like, I would say like 3 days later, like we all like had a talk, like her parents, my parents, and then we were all there.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
I never did that.
No. Yeah.
No.
So like
Not until like the.
so like right before the kid came or something.
No, I think it was like around the baby showers when they started coming over. We started going over, and
Yeah,
like that's when around the baby showers is when we started to mix.
Sense. Were they like, did they hang out at all? Like, while y'all were? Wait, were you guys dating?
Yeah, at that
Okay.
time, you know what? I mean, like during my.
I had the same story. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, during my there was a while. I think there was like 4 months where we weren't together.
Did your parents and his parents ever hang out? No. Probably
No,
not.
because his parents are closer in age to my grandparents than they are to my parents.
Oh, that makes
Because
sense. That makes
my
sense.
parents were teen parents, whereas
Yeah,
his parents had him, I think, when they were like closer to 30.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, me and her had been dating, so like our parents had already kind of met each other and like hung out a little bit. So like they already had each other's phone numbers, like, you know.
Very
and
much that though. It
Yeah,
was like that, but it wasn't so friendly, I think, as
as my
much as yours
gotcha.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, all right, let's just all like meet up and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much just like, like we're gonna help you guys get through college, like, like we're not gonna bug you guys for like paying
Anything.
for like so much shit and like, like we're not happy right now, but like we're gonna be happy once she's here.
Later. Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, yeah, it's gonna be hard, but like you guys need to finish college, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do that, and like we'll all be good. And it was just like it was super peaceful, which was nice.
Yeah.
It was very nice to like have that. I mean, not everybody gets that, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Mine came to that. Afterwards. Yeah.
That's good.
Mine got there.
so the next question is something someone wrote in, but I feel like this is something like if you're like completely like alone.
Okay.
Like if
what
your
is it?
counterpart isn't like involved at all. But I mean,
What is it?
we'll answer it both ways. Is who has it harder, single dads or single moms?
Hands down, single moms.
Okay.
And I only say that because I think single moms are moms in general, just not even single moms, just moms in general, you're expected to do everything, and you're expected to do everything with no applause. Like you're just expected to, like, you're talking about how your day is hard as fuck, you have all these mom things to do, and people will literally be like, well, like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like that's what you chose. And single dads don't have it that hard because they do one little thing and they're praised to God for it.
I would agree. Yeah.
They are praised to God for
agree.
it. But yeah, moms.
I would say single moms have it harder. I know there are single dads who's like the baby mama is not like involved like at all.
Yeah, and
it's like rare.
It's a complete different story. See, that's
like,
why it's kind of hard to answer that question because
exactly.
everybody has a different
It's
situation.
Different. It's different. I would say majority is single moms have it harder.
Yes.
And even like if it's co-parenting or not, I would say single moms still have it harder.
Still have it harder. Just because I feel like mom guilt and mom shaming is way bigger than dad.
I get that.
Yeah, like
for sure.
Moms can barely, like, you go out as a mom and you try to have a good time and people will ask you about your kid. Where's your kid?
Yeah.
Well, what is like bitch,
Yeah.
do you not know like the fucking shame you're putting on me right now? Like you're making me feel guilty as fuck. And like I don't take it to heart because I feel like in most cases they're genuinely asking, like, just like where's your kid? Yeah, like just like, oh, where's he at? Like, and I know they have good intentions, but it's like you don't realize the guilt, like, because once you ask a mom that, then they start to think about it and they're like, what the fuck is he doing right now, or what is she doing?
Am I doing?
Yeah, or like, what am I doing? Like, I chose to be here instead of be home with my kid. I am full of shit. Like, you start to think fucked up shit like that as a mom. Yeah,
for sure.
As a mom, so I would 100%.
Single moms have it harder. There's one single dad I do know. Shout out to you, if you're listening. He has like majority custody, and like I could definitely see how that's hard.
Oh no, I know a few too, and I give them all the praise in the world because
like, I feel like
real men.
As a kid, like as a guy growing up, like you're not really taught how to be a dad.
No.
Like, whereas like women or like girls are like more groomed to like
be mothers and
so
wives.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Even though that might not be right,
Yeah.
Like, but it's just how it goes. Mm-hmm. And like, if like you're a single dad and you gotta like step it up, like I respect the fuck out of that, cause like you have no practice.
No.
And you're literally like learning on the spot.
Yes. Like
you're usually not the person who stays home and like watches the little siblings, all this, like all that. So respect to y'all. I'm gonna still say single moms have it harder though.
No, yes, 100%.
And especially like if there's co-parenting involved, single moms still have it harder.
Yes, yes, mothers just.
I'm gonna give it up to y'all.
Man,
100%.
Y'all make the world go round.
So the other question, it's like this there's a twofold answer to this. So I got like a twofold answer. Is it better to co-parent or try to raise a child on your own? Do you want me to answer first? I think I have an answer for this.
Go ahead first.
So obviously it depends on if the other person is like a decent person.
Even fit to be a parent.
Yes. If the person is not fit to be a parent, raise that fucking child on your own.
Yes.
As hard as it might be.
You got to run away.
Get away. Do what you got to do. Like, I respect the fuck out of you if that happens.
Yeah, I think that just comes down to, like, do you want your kid to be like that person? Like,
yes.
do you even think your kid should be anything like that person? Because if you're giving that person any time with your child, they're gonna soak
there's
in.
There's gonna be a part of them.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna be
those 2 days a week are gonna be the fucking 20% of your kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
100%. If like it's you both are fit for it, fucking co-parent the fuck out of that. Like, just make it civil. Settle your shit.
There's no reason to make it hard. There's no reason to make it hard. If they're not a bad person and you can put your feelings aside and really, like, they're decent. Like, yeah. I feel like that only happens when a parent is trying to take the kid away from the other parent. Is like, if it's not with reason, if they're not actually a shitty person, it's like because they're being too emotional.
Yes. And to those people,
You're hurting yourself.
I'm gonna say fuck y'all, because that's
you're hurting
fucked
yourself.
Up. Because if someone is willing to be the parent that they should be, and you're pushing them away from that, like, that's like just a fucked up thing to do, like in general. Because like if that happened to me, like I could not imagine how the fuck I would feel about that.
All I'm gonna say is you're hurting yourself and you're hurting your child.
Yeah, all three parties are getting hurt in that.
Yes.
And then if you just can put that shit to the side and make it work. Like,
you don't realize how much easier all three of your lives could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you think like you might think like, oh, my kid's gonna love me, but like once they get to the age and they realize like what might have really happened, like why their other parent wasn't involved and it was because of you, like they're gonna have resentment towards that. Yes. And like you don't really want that. Like, so if they're willing and they're capable of doing it, like let them fucking do it. Yeah. Like, it could be fucking 2 days a week. It could be one. Whatever it is, just fucking give it to them. Yeah. Because, like, I don't know. You need, as a kid, like, you need both parts. Yes, you really do. Unless... Even if it's separate. Even if it's separate.
Unless it's just like we said. Unless you really got to get away from him, get away from him.
Fucking run. If you got to get away, run.
If you got to get away from her, get the fuck away from her.
Thank you for giving both sides.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
No.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, we're both new to this topic. Dating with a kid. How has that been?
I think dating with a kid is... Honestly, I think it's no different.
No different?
I think it's no different. Just because they're not meeting your kid right away. Yeah. They're not meeting... You're in full control of that. Yeah. So, I think personally it's no different. What would you say?
Yeah, they're not meeting. I mean, it can be hard because, like, scheduling.
Okay. As far as what?
Like
when you have her?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, trying to figure out days, like, what days are going to work.
Okay.
That's the only thing that really makes it hard. More difficult.
Right. Yeah. And I could agree with that.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, yours and mine, like, scheduling is different. Mm-hmm. So, like, for you, I feel like it would be hard because, like, you got, like, 2 weeks where you can kind of do, like, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And then you have 2 weeks where, like, you really have to plan it. Yes. Like, for me, it's a little more consistent to where, like, I know my days. Right. And every week I know my days. Right. So, like, I can kind of plan around that. Uh-huh. But even then, it's, like, you still have to match your schedule with whoever you're dating schedule. Yes.
Yeah, and then sometimes people will want to see you more than, like, you're available for.
Exactly.
And that's, like...
and that could cause a problem, but that's part of dating with a kid. And, like, if the person can't understand that, then...
They're not the person.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, then that's a red
flag for sure. Yeah. Could you date somebody with a kid of their own?
I never have, but I think I could. I think it'd be very easy. It'd probably be easier. I just never have.
I would agree. I think it would be...
easier.
Well, now that I'm a parent, it'd be easier.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, if I didn't have a kid, like, it would be just, like, a new experience. But, like, I still feel like I could do it at that point. But now that I have my own, like I'm just like more equipped to
Yes.
like be able to do
Or
it.
just more experienced
Yeah,
even in that field.
exactly.
Like you're just like,
And like
that. Yeah.
probably compared to people my age, like I'm probably more experienced because my kid's like
A
older
little
than
older. Yeah.
everybody's kids. So
I can
like
feel that.
I have like more years under my belt. So like
Yes.
I could definitely do it.
Yeah.
And like I mean we had this conversation before, but like being like a step parent is different than being a parent to the kid.
Right.
Like it's similar in some ways, but like
I
you
would
don't.
think, yeah, I would think of it more as like, I don't want to say an uncle, but it's somewhere between like an uncle and a guardian. Like
You're
you're
like a mentor.
yes, like you're still in a position of authority, just not too much authority.
Yes.
And then like you're still supposed to be fun, just not too much fun.
Yeah.
Like you're just
And you're like trustworthy, but like
yeah.
you have to be able to be like transparent with the
With them.
with the
yeah,
parents.
and yes.
Because like I mean obviously it's not your kid. Your decisions like aren't final.
Yeah.
Ever final.
Yeah, and if you're not, like, honestly, if you're talking to somebody with a child and you're not like, I'm gonna love this kid with my whole heart, like, you should not be talking to that person. I've talked to so many people, or I've known so many people who, like, are with people with kids and they're just like, that's not my kid. And I'm like, you shouldn't fucking be there, bro. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of there.
I mean, I get the, like, it's not my kid thing, but, like, you can't.
Like, I don't think you say that.
You can't use it as, like, an excuse.
No, and I don't
out.
think you should say that publicly. Like, I don't think you should say that just like that's not my kid. Like, what the fuck? Like, honestly, in public, you should be saying that's your kid. The only time you should be saying that's not my kid is when, like, it comes to disciplining them and, like, doing shit like that. That's when you should be like, okay, that's not my kid. But in public, bro, like, that's...
You kind of have to claim
that's
it. That's
disrespectful as fuck on the kid's part. Like, and the mother and the father. I mean, I personally feel like that. Like, I mean, there's a certain time limit to it.
That's what I was going to say.
There's a certain time limit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain time limit to it. But, like, if you're not going to love that kid, like, it's yours, then, bro.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong fucking position.
Yeah, and, like, as a step parent, like, you don't have to do too much.
No.
Like, you literally just get to chill with the kid and be like a friend to the child.
Solely the fun part.
Like if that's what you choose, like you could literally just be the fun part.
And that's like
yeah.
I think as a parent that's more than you could ask for, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's
like if
that's
I didn't have
all
to
you could ask for.
If I didn't have to discipline my kid like at all.
And you guys just do the fun parts. I would sign myself up.
I would sign myself up for that shit. Like that'd be mad fun.
Yes.
You know, that's like having like you said, being an uncle. That's like having my niece.
Yes.
You know, like I get to tell her mom, you know,
you have to
did
this.
Out. Like, this is on you now, you know. But then I'm gonna be like, all right, like don't do that next time. Like,
yeah,
we'll go have fun, but like don't do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely I could, for sure. This one should have went up one, but like, how important is it to be civil between like your baby daddy, for your example?
I think that's really all that matters is how civil you guys are in front of them, whether or not you're toxic behind the scenes, like when they're not around. That really doesn't matter, but doing it in front of them or letting them see it, I don't think parents realize how that rolls over into their romantic lives and how because I mean, the first love story you really learn about is your parents.
Yeah. 100%.
So, and having divorced parents could be very confusing because you're just like, or separated parents, divorced, separated. It could be really confusing because that's the first love story you come to know, and you're like, well, the people that created me aren't even fucking together. Like, what's going on? So, I think it's important. I never saw my parents fight or argue or anything. I always watched all their arguments, or not even arguments, all their discussions about us and what we were going to be doing, me and my sister, be very civil. And it was just like a straight conversation, like, okay. Like, cool. Yeah. And just quick and easy. But I have seen, like, my cousins, where their parents are, like, they can't even talk to each other. And my cousins have to mediate it. Like, the mom tells my cousin something, and then she tells her dad, and then her dad tells her, and then her dad like, and that's like a nightmare. Yes, and that's terrible, where they have to be the messenger between the parents because the parents have to be like the most mature one. Yes, because the parents can't even communicate. They're not even mature enough to communicate. And I've seen that where I grew up and it was like around the same time where my cousin's parents split and then my parents split, and like it was just two complete different stories, like sort of like you and Andy, where they had just like this crazy hard story and my parents were still talking. My parents were even still going out with us. They were still taking
like together.
Yeah, like they were still taking us to like snow trips, and they were taking us out to the movies randomly, and like they were just taking us out. I don't know if that was them like they were each other's sneaky link, like now that I think about it, but like
it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. I honestly think it was. but like they were still but I mean, like, as far as it goes now, at the moment, it was really nice because I got to see them like still be like, oh, you know, our daughters kind of thing. Let's put that all aside. And I think that has rolled over really hard with both me and my sister. But being toxic to each other, you guys are gonna fuck up your kids because they're gonna look for, whether it's your baby daddy being toxic or you being toxic, your kid is going to act like one or the other, or going to attract one or the other. So it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. I would say it's really fucking important. Like,
yeah.
It's
also very hard.
It's hard. Yeah. I mean,
cool.
You're going to have to like
at the beginning.
You're going to have to put shit to the side. You know, someone's feelings are going to get hurt, and like you can't just lash out over it. You kind of just got to accept it.
Yeah, you gotta really have to. Pill.
You do, because you're gonna have to do it at some point. Like if y'all are really not gonna be together, like you really just have to like think about it and be like, all right, you already know what's gonna happen. Like she's gonna find someone new. They're gonna be happy or whatever. They're gonna make the next steps, whatever that may be. Whether it's moving in together, whether it's they start like trying for a kid, they get married, like. You're going to have to deal with all that. And, like, the best thing you could do is just prep your fucking self because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, it might be hard at first to, like, just think about it. But, like, in the long run,
it's not
like,
that hard.
It's not going to be that hard. Like, you interact with them, like, like, not necessarily on the daily. You don't have to. Like, you might only have to communicate when something bad happens, something good happens, or when you guys are transitioning, like, who has it. Yeah. And, like, those are, like, the 3 times you really only have to talk. Like, other than that, like, do your own thing. Yeah. You go get married. You go have a kid. Go find somebody. You know? And, like, it's going to go both ways.
Yes.
And, like, the quicker you get fucking over it, like, the happier you're going to be.
Yes. And I would also say, I think being a single parent, you feel... like you're missing somebody even extra than somebody who's just regularly single. Yeah. Like I feel like you feel that absence more. It's just amplified versus you just being single with no kids.
Yeah, because I mean, you're used to you taking care of the kid while also having like backup.
Yeah, like you're a team. You're used to being a team or a part of that. So it's hard.
Y'all could still be a team.
You still are a team. You still are a team.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's different. It's more of a tag team now.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. That's perfect. That's a great explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
because you're just like, all right, like I got a week.
Yeah.
Here you go. Bam. Now you're in. Like, you just gotta treat it like that. And like, honestly, the sooner you realize that, the happier everyone's gonna be.
The easier it'll be.
You'll be happier. Just like. You gotta learn how to be happy for them to be happy.
Yes.
And like as hard as that how easy that is to say and how hard that is to like actually do. It's a different thing, but like you just gotta tell yourself like constantly. Like if they're happy, my kid's gonna be more happy when she's there.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna be more happy when I get my kid because my kid's happy.
Right.
And then I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with her being upset because her mom's upset.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And like, I don't know.
There's levels. There's levels to being a parent.
How would you handle like say your baby daddy gets like a girlfriend or something? How are you handling that? Or how are you dealing with that?
I feel like for me personally, it's a little easier just because he's not in the city.
Okay, like that makes sense.
I absolutely don't know who this person is. I don't even have to see it. I don't have to like think about running into them. I don't have to, like I don't even have to think about like I really don't have to think about it at all. So I feel like out of sight, out of mind, he's
What
just
about like
completely
for
not
your
here.
kid?
For my kid, I I think it's honestly I think it's the same kind of the same story just because well, first to start, I cannot even see that man like with somebody else just because he's he does what he wants.
Okay.
He's not he does what he wants.
He's gonna be the teddy,
He a
but with the
player.
kid.
I I got trapped by the player. And so I can't even see it. Honestly, I cannot even see it. But that's not to say it won't happen. Because I have thought about it and I have like, you know, just sat and been like, what the fuck would that be like? Or how would
Yeah.
I feel? But no matter how hard I try to think about it, I cannot I can't picture it just because like it's not in like my actual reality. It's not something that would happen. So I can't tell you how I would feel, but when that happens, I mean, shit, I could come on here and start freaking out, but I don't think I will.
We're gonna get you on at
But
the
I just
emergency podcast. Shelly just found out her baby daddy's dating somebody.
It's just gonna go live. Like,
Yeah, we're not even gonna edit it. No, fuck no.
I'm gonna just.
So,
no,
for
but
me-
I kind of think I don't think I would freak out just because he's not even here.
Yeah.
And like even when Matthew is over there, like I can distract myself in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So it's different for me. But for somebody in the city, I think I would die. Like
You would die?
I think I would die. Like
Yeah?
if it were here, like if it were here in the city, like fucking 5 minutes down the street, yeah, I think that shit would be like I think it would be weird. I think it would be weird, but that's just me.
So I'm going through exactly what your worst nightmare is right now.
It's not my worst nightmare. Sure, I
Well,
can tell you
I
what that
mean,
is. But
yeah. Maybe later.
But that I'm just saying, like, that's just off the top of my head. That's just off the top of my head.
So for me, like, I trust my baby mama enough to like make a good decision
In finding somebody.
Okay. And
see, I don't know how much I trust him. That's why.
That's the issue right there.
Yeah, that's what it
like
is.
For me, like I trust her enough to make that decision and to make the decision with my daughter in mind.
Right.
While she makes it, and that really like eases a lot of shit off my head.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can understand like if you did not trust somebody, like what you're saying. Like I could get why that would freak you out.
It's just like I don't know who you're accepting. Like, who is it? Like that's the main reason.
That's the main scary part. Like for me, she does already have a boyfriend, so like I'm already dealing with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't I've met him, but like sat down and talked with him. But I mean, right now, like I really don't feel like it's at that point.
Right.
But I mean, if they stay together, then it'll definitely come to that point.
It'll get there.
And like I don't want to treat something that's been not too long as something too serious.
Right.
You know, like I don't feel like it's necessary yet.
There's also that.
But once it gets to like the next level, then obviously like we'll all sit down and just like get on the same level.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I mean,
okay.
Like for me, I can like detach myself from that situation.
Right.
So it's not like I don't really have like any feelings involved with it at this point.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like my daughter talks about him and brings him up and tells me about him, and it's all good stuff. So like for me, as long as it's all good stuff, like it's all good. As soon as it's like
a little iffy,
then like I'm gonna bring it up.
Right.
You know, like might have a meeting sooner than I would. You know, like I would like to, but for now, like I really trust her. I trust her parents to like get to know this guy at the same time and make a decision, not for her, but like
with her.
Give her advice, like, hey, like,
give her advice.
This probably isn't like the right guy. If he's not, if he is, then like tell him like, you know, this might be the right guy, and like that's fine with me.
Right.
That's fine with me as long as like he's good to my daughter. Like that's all I care about.
Right, and good to her.
Well, good to her too. Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could guess she's smart enough to make that decision on her own. You know.
Yeah. No, and she is.
How long do you have to be dating somebody for them to meet your kid? Do you have like a time frame on that, or doesn't it like just depend?
I think like I don't think you know somebody dating them. I don't even think you fully know them until about 6 months. You know how when you have a newborn and they don't look normal until like 6 months?
Look like an
I
alien?
think I think that's the vibe for when you're
Dude, I
dating.
got so much heat for saying my daughter looked like an alien when she
Why?
came out. I don't know.
Dude,
People
my
were like,
son
"Oh,
looks
you shouldn't say that."
so
I was like,
beaner.
"Dude, she looks like a conehead."
Dude, my son looked like such a little paisa baby. I'm not even gonna lie. But I mean, like, we're full Mexican,
Yeah, that
like,
makes sense,
period.
yeah.
We are paisa. But, like, we're very light skinned. And when he was born, I was like, bro, why is my son brown? Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, just because we're all so light skinned. I mean, I didn't care, but I was just like, oh my God, he looks so Mexican. Like, but then, but then, like, at 6 months, his skin
His
literally,
skin
his
lightened, yeah.
whole skin, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the vibe for when you're dating. Like, it's like, you know, it's something new, and then you're just kind of figuring it out and meeting the person. And then at 6 months, you're like, oh, this is who you are. Like, you've kind of got a good taste, I
Yeah.
think. I don't think you get a really, really good taste until the full year. Like, oh shit, that's who you are. But
So what about
at 6 months,
like
you have a good idea.
what
So I
point are
think
you letting them meet your kid?
I think 6 months is a good time, but yeah, maybe even a little before that, maybe like 5 would
Okay.
be cool. But
Yeah.
there's also levels to that. Like, how are they meeting your child? Is it alone, or is it like in a group setting where there's like a lot of people and you guys kind of look like, or you guys look like friends in front of your kid? I think
Yeah.
there's levels to that too.
So like, it kind of depends on like the how you guys are dating.
Right.
Like if y'all are just like casual, like already, like, and you can bring your kid around and just be casual about it.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Like I would have like a limit or like a low on that. Like obviously, like if it's somebody completely fucking random, like I have zero clue about, like
Yeah,
no,
like,
it's gonna be a while.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
See,
And like, I mean, I've lived in the same city for my whole fucking life, so like I
Yes,
know
me
a lot
too.
of people, and I know like a lot of people through other people.
right.
So like, I can kind of make
A good, like, at least a good
guess.
opinion.
Yeah.
Form an opinion at
Yeah.
least before meeting the person. And there's also like, I mean, being a parent is hard because, I mean, there's no right or wrong way. You could let your fucking child meet that person whenever the fuck you want, because time is also a funny thing where, like, you can be with someone for years and they will be the most fucking toxic person, and then you could meet somebody who genuinely loves you, you know? And it could be a month, and it could be perfect. It could be absolutely perfect, and you can let them meet your child. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, this is just off the top of my head, and this isn't even to say that this is what I would do, because if I found the perfect person, I can't tell you what I would do.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it's just like how comfortable you are with them, and then if like you're at like there's levels to the
right.
comfortability, like you're comfortable for yourself, and then like comfortable for like okay, like they're grown enough to like be around a kid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and we're still at the age where like there's people we know that should not be around a fucking kid at all.
No.
Like not even in the same room with 10 people in it.
A lot of
one
my
kid.
friends don't meet my kids.
Yeah.
You know what? You could be my friend for almost 2 years, and you could have in total seen my son twice for like a total of like an hour.
Yeah.
I swear. Like, I think ever since I've had him, all my friends have been like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? But if you haven't been my friend for over 5 years, I probably don't even call you my friend. And like,
there's levels.
yeah,
There's
like
levels. I would say like
would always ask me to take Matthew over and like let's hang out with him and whatever, like you could just bring him, and I would just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we will. And
it's never gonna happen.
No, never.
Yeah.
It was I would say that just so like they'd shut the fuck up, but
I
like
get it.
no, there's I don't even let my son around certain ones of my friends. So it's like if I let him around somebody I'm dating, then, you know, it says something.
Yeah. No, I get that. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like I would say Athena has met a lot of my friends, but not a lot of my friends that I'd like hang out with randomly. Like, for example, like, I don't think Athena's never met Malik. Joe's her cousin.
That's probably good.
Yeah. Malik would probably be fine with the kid. But, like, Joe's my daughter's cousin, so he's met her. Kenny, I've been friends with, like, since freshman year of high school. Andrew, I've been friends with forever. Preston, like, they've all met my daughter. And, they're vetted at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've build like a rapport to like know like okay like they're good around my kid,
or they've seen how you've grown as a father and
yeah,
they've, kind of acquired themselves.
Well, like Preston, Kenny, Andrew, they were all there in the waiting room like when my daughter was born. Yeah, so they were like the first like 20 people to like meet my daughter.
Oh,
like,
no
come
way.
in and see her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're real ones for sure, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I have a few friends like that. I have a few.
I
have two.
I want to say it was just
I have
them
two friends
three.
like that.
I think it was just them three that were there.
Okay, I had two friends.
At the
two friends that like, or you know what? One of them is actually my cousin. I had one friend. Yeah.
And like, I want to say my baby mama had like maybe two that were there, but like my friends were like, dude, like I'm gonna fucking be there, and they like waited with my parents and like just chilled for like
that's crazy.
a couple hours and stuff. So like. That was really cool, and like,
yeah,
I fucking love those dudes. So it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like I did need somebody in that moment too, because like right before my baby mama gave birth, like I was kind of like not panicking, but I was just like, dude, what the fuck is about to happen, you know? And like she ended up getting the epidural.
Me too.
So I walked out because like nobody can be in there.
Yeah, you can't be in there.
And so like going out there and like. You know, saying what's up to them and being like, yo, like, what the fuck is about to happen right now? Like, it was cool to, like, it was cool to have people that weren't going through it. And then it was cool to have, like, my parents right there to, like, kind of, like, just be like, this is what to expect, kind of. And, like, that was really nice.
Your parents weren't in the room?
My mom was.
Your mom was?
My mom was, yeah, not my dad. My dad was not in the room.
Yeah, no.
Dude, we had, like, we had like 7 people in the room.
I think I was about to say I had 6 people in the room.
I think we had, yeah.
No.
We had like grandparents, we had sisters, we had moms. I want to say
I had 6 people in the room.
I want to say there was 6.
Yeah.
Including me.
Including my baby daddy too.
Yeah.
6, including him.
6, yeah. And like even then I was like, dude, that's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot that's a lot of pressure.
Yes. I thought
like,
that
not
was
even for me, but
no, honestly, well, personally being on the table
exactly,
and like giving birth, you don't think about it. You're honestly no, I mean at least me personally. I know my cousins have said like certain people piss them off in the room and like, oh, they don't want this and they don't want that. Yeah. But like me personally, I was like, fuck, everybody holds my fucking hand. Like everybody hug me. Dude, yes, there was a like right before I think I don't know how long your labor took, but I started pushing and he was out within 35 minutes.
It was the same.
Yeah? Okay.
It was 37 minutes, yeah.
Like around there. Yeah. Okay. So, like the first 30 minutes, I was trying with my whole heart. And at the end, like at the 30-minute mark, like 5 minutes before he was born, I looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, I can't do this. I was like, Mom, I'm not strong enough to do this. And she started, like, my mom's not one to cry. She's a Sagittarius woman. That bitch is fucking tough. And she's not one to cry, but when I told her that, because I looked at her, I just stopped, like, I completely just, like, let my body go limp, and I just looked at her, and I was like, I can't do this, bro, like, what the fuck is this? What am I doing right now? And, she was like, she just started, she full ass started bawling before even speaking to me, and she was like, no, you have to do this because then we won't have him. And I just like that gave me so much strength. I don't know, I wasn't looking at if I'm being honest, I wasn't looking at my baby daddy. I wasn't even holding his hand. I was holding my godmother's hand, and I had my grandma's hand in my other hand, and my mom was like right above me. She was like right next to my head, and I wasn't looking at anybody else. I was not focused on anyone else besides my mom. But So I didn't feel the other people in the room. But I
Yeah.
know a lot of people are like, oh my God, my vagina, my this, my that, I'm a poop. And I was just like, man, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, like if you choose to be in here, you choose to be in here for
That's
whatever the
true.
fuck happens.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, nobody's going to be in here. But then they were like, like, you're not gonna have me in there. You're not gonna have me in there. And I was,
Everybody wants to be in there.
yes,
Surprisingly.
surprisingly,
Yeah.
yeah. So and then I was just like, okay, yeah, you guys could be like, sure, but like, you're gonna be in here for whatever the fuck happens. Because I personally, like, at least in moments like that, I have no shame.
Yeah.
Like, I have.
Well, I mean,
no shame.
you really like can't have shame at that point. I mean, you can, but like you're going through it.
You're going through it.
Your mind is on everything else but being fucking shamed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm not even scared to be embarrassed. Like, I don't. I will try to prevent myself from being embarrassed, but once it happens, I'm just kind of like, you know, like, yeah. Yeah, no.
My biggest fear being in there was that I was gonna fucking faint. I knew I wasn't, but the thing is, like, when my sister gave birth, her baby daddy fainted.
I was gonna say my cousin, her baby daddy fainted.
Yeah, and he actually fell on the fucking doctor. And, like, the doctor just, like, let him fall and was like, get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen to me, bro. Like, that is
Dude,
not
that's
happening.
wild.
I was in there, like, I was prepping for, like, a fucking
Did you
basketball
look?
game. Oh, I was holding her
Watching.
feet. I was
Were
holding
you,
her feet.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I watched the entire thing. And,
Okay.
like.
I asked the doctors to watch when I was giving birth, actually. I asked for a mirror. And they...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, you know what? I'm going to place you under that panel right there. Because there's a silver panel. Like, you know how the squares
You could, like,
in
see
school?
it, yeah.
Yeah, so he placed me right under there. So I was able to watch. And right when his head started to pop out, like, the nurses and the doctors like gasped, and I was like, ah, what the fuck's wrong down there? Like, what? Like, I stopped. I whole ass stopped, and I was like, what? And I looked up, and it was just because he had a full head of hair.
Oh, yeah.
So his head started to pop out, and he had a full head of hair, and they were just like, oh my gosh, like, this, did you have a lot of heartburn? Like, they were just like, oh my gosh. And we took like a few seconds, and I was just staring at the mirror, and he was like, do you want to play with his hair? And I was like, yes. And dude, I whole ass reached down into my crotch and was playing with his hair.
Wow.
Yes, I was whole ass. No, and what's funny is that, I mean, I was 16 at this time. You guys got to keep this in mind. And before I had given birth, I had said that I wanted to give birth the way Courtney did to Mason Disick. If you guys have ever seen that. She whole ass, like, his shoulders and just his shoulders and his head came out of her. And the doctor was like, do you want to pull him out? Do you want to, like, take him out of you? And she was like, yeah. And like, that's what I wanted to do. So when they were like, do you want to play with his hair? I was like, fuck yeah, because right now I'm about to fucking pull him out. Yes. So
Okay. I didn't even know this.
Yeah, so I played with his hair for a little while, and they were like, okay, let's get back to pushing. And for like you guys that don't know, you push on contractions. So and I had the epidural, so I couldn't feel them. So they were staring at the screen telling me when I had contractions to push. And on one of the contractions, he told me push, and I started pushing, and he was like, okay, wait, stop pushing. But I was like in the middle of my contraction, and I was already pushing, and I just kept pushing, and he like flew out of me. Yeah, like he like flew out of me. He tore me and everything. Like that's why the doctor told me stop. He was like stop because he was gonna he was gonna cut me in a spot where it was easier for him to like stitch up and like so that he would come out like the way I wanted, like his shoulders first and like so. But because I just like whole ass pushed, I tore myself and he just like flew out. So I didn't get that moment, but next time. Hopefully next time.
I'm sorry. The way you said flew out.
Yeah, dude, because he...
Because now I'm just imagining like a kid fucking shooting out like completely.
Not to make it sound like that, but like, yeah, you just like kind of... That's how it is when you're giving birth, though. Yeah. Like, it's like on the... Yeah. It's just, shit happens in that room.
It's fucking wild.
Shit happens in that room.
It's literally like... wild, like
Yeah.
nature wild, you know?
Yes.
Like in the purest form, you know?
Like it's on some alien shit though. Like cuz you're
Yeah.
just like in the moment. Like it's beautiful afterwards, don't get me wrong, you appreciate it, but I think in the moment you're like what alien shit is this? Like what the fuck? Like,
Oh, I'm fucking dead. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom.
oh yeah, me too.
All right, we're back from the bathroom. Had to empty out. All right, so these are like my personal questions to a woman. How can you tell if a girl's into you? Like, what are the like cardinal signs behind that?
The cardinal signs.
Yeah, cardinal signs. I just learned that.
I think like universally, she'll want to talk to you. She'll want to be around you, and not just for any reason. I think when a girl's trying to get to know you, she more wants to go out and wants to go on a date. Whereas a girl, I think that's like knows that she's into you. She'll just want to hang out with you. Like
Okay.
she'll want to do nothing with you. And
That's when she's like really into you.
yeah,
saying? Okay.
and like she'll respond quick as fuck. At least I do. I mean, I don't know. I don't speak for everyone, but
Yeah.
I'll respond quick. I'll even like want to talk on the phone, but I think that's depending on how far you are and like how much our schedules align, you know. But yeah, like she'll either want to talk on the phone, she'll respond quick, and she'll want to see you for no reason. I think those
Okay.
are like the pretty basic universal signs that a girl is into you.
Okay. How about through social media? How do you make that distinction? Like if a chick like is into you or not?
She'll respond quick.
She'll respond quick like
She'll
on social media.
respond quick. Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean like she'll reply to your stories? Or...
Yes, like she'll
Okay.
engage. She
She'll-
will be like full on engaged. Like she will like
And
your
also like if
photos
you
and
engage, she'll
she'll
like,
go
respond.
off. Yeah.
She'll respond instead of just like double
like,
tap.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even like ignoring your comment and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
100%.
What's the best way for a guy to be able to take you on a date?
I would say completely plan it.
Like
Just
from beginning to
throttle,
end.
yeah, full throttle, plan the whole thing. Obviously ask questions, like find out what kind of food they like, and you know that like basic stuff. Ask questions, don't just full on like plan it and
Make
not
them feel
not
involved.
even yeah
Make them feel involved.
yeah, plan it. Don't just plan it and like not be considerate of the things that they eat and they don't eat, you know, or what they like and don't. But like be considerate and ask them questions and try to sneak it in there. Don't try to make it obvious you're trying to plan a date, but just ask like general questions. Definitely get out of your car, open the door, and I would even say if you really want to leave an impression, like if you really like this girl, buy her flowers. Buy her fucking $14.99 flowers, bro. Like are you kidding? Like that's all you gotta do. Just
It's not that
by,
hard.
stop by Vaughn's, grab some fucking flowers, and pick her up. And dude, her day will be made. She will be shitless the whole fucking date. So I would say do that. Just plan it, have flowers when you get there, and open the door for her, and she will already be unbuckling her pants. Okay.
Oh, bet. There you go. You guys are getting notes straight from her right now. So you brought up something you want to talk about. So
What was it?
we didn't bring it up earlier. We should have brought it up earlier. That you were actually dating somebody at some point.
Okay.
And you wanted to talk about that. So go ahead, go off.
Okay. Okay, so I was seeing this guy for like 2.5 months, like almost 3. But the 2.5 months that we were talking, like we were seeing each other very regularly, and this was out in San Diego. And one day, like we saw each other all the time, and this one day he was like, oh, are you gonna come over and spend the night, because I work overnight. So he was like, are you gonna come spend the night and then leave in the morning, because that's usually like what the routine was. And I had something to do the next day. I can't even remember what it was, but I had something to do, so I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. And he gets off of work around like 6:37, so that's the time he got home. And around that time I'm like already on my way to work, and by 10 he had already fallen asleep. And like he wouldn't fall asleep until like midnight.
Okay.
So I didn't think anything. I seriously did not think anything of it. I was just like, okay, like whatever, like that. I didn't even think it was weird. I was just like, okay, he fell asleep. Like it's 10 p.m. Like normal people sleep at this time. And I got off of work that night early. It was like 1:30 and then Cane's was still open. So I was like, hey, let me go get some. And usually I would pick some up for me and him, and then he would just like eat it tomorrow. So I picked some up. I went over to his house, and there was a car in the driveway, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, who is that? And I still didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, that's kind of weird. And I walked inside, and there was another bitch in the house.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But they were completely asleep when I walked up in there, and nobody woke up. So I just left the food there. I left my key, and I just sat in my car for a second and blocked him on everything, and then I left. But the craziest fucking part, bro, the craziest part is that I'm lying.
Huh?
And none of that happened.
What do you mean?
I'm just bullshitting. I totally made that up.
Stop.
I swear.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
Yeah. No, dude, I've been thinking about that story all day, bro. I've been fabricating that story. I've been fabricating that story all day.
Oh, that's a good ass story. You fucking had me, bro. You fucking had me.
Dude, I've been practicing on my siblings all day.
Stop it.
I swear.
Oh,
I swear those
God.
bitches can vouch for me. I've been practicing that.
You fucking got me, bro. I set that shit up completely. Damn. You're the worst. I can't believe you just did that. Fucking got my ass. All right. How can somebody stand out on social media for you? I know it's different for everybody.
Well,
You want me to go first?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, like, for a woman on social media to stand out, like, I'm a big Twitter person.
Okay.
I'm a huge Twitter person.
I think that's like a red flag already.
Why?
Because Twitter, why?
Because
Twitter's too much.
Twitter is less pictures and more like you.
Your thoughts.
Yes. And, like, I want to know your fucking dark thoughts. I want to know your fucking random thoughts. Like, I want to know all that shit. I'm not, like, Instagram is cool. Snapchat is cool.
Instagram is fake.
Yes.
Instagram is fake.
Instagram is fake. So, like, I don't, like, you could look good on IG, and then I see you in person, and you don't look that good.
Dude, I post looking like this on Instagram, and then my next story on my close friends will be me. And like, dude, if you're not on my close friends on Instagram, then bro,
yeah,
you do not know.
You don't know.
You do not know.
So like, for me, like IG is just like a reference. Whereas like, if I follow you on Twitter, if I fuck with you on Twitter, like,
that's different.
That's a green flag.
Yeah.
That's a green flag for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a good Twitter feed, which you retweet is good, what you tweet yourself is good. Like, if it's funny, like if you're funny, like I'm gonna fuck with you. Like that's gonna get my attention first.
Yes, but I feel like I can go both ways on that. Like, if you're funny, then yes. But if you're awkward and you can recognize that your jokes bomb and you can recognize when it's awkward, that's also another thing that's like very key. I think that's just as key as recognizing when your jokes do land. It's like, can you recognize when they bomb and like when it's fucking weird, like and like when to fall back and like Twitter not be too obnoxious.
That fucking Joker meme.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna put a tweet out that's fire, and then you're gonna put one out that's like, yeah, what the fuck, bro?
What'd she just
Delete
say?
that. Delete that, fam. Delete that. You can be laughing by yourself. Like, I've definitely had those moments on Twitter. Twitter's just the shit. Like,
dude,
Twitter is the superior for me.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast earlier though, and the people who run the podcast are like 32, 34, like around that age. And then they had one of their nieces come on, and she's 17 and she's in high school, and they were like, rank the social medias, and she was like, number 1, TikTok. No,
Oh, yeah.
no,
That
it was
makes
like,
sense.
dude, yeah, and it was out of
TikToks?
5. It was out of 5 social medias, and she
Yeah.
put Twitter on number 4.
Oh,
And I was
God.
like, yo, that's
She's young.
crazy. Yeah,
She's
like
young.
but I thought
So you rank them.
but I thought we
You-
were the young.
Yeah, you rank
so
it.
I was like, whoa.
You rank it.
So the five social medias were Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter,
Just no YouTube.
TikTok,
Okay.
and Facebook.
Twitter's number 1.
Twitter's
IG's
number 1.
probably number 2.
Instagram's definitely number 2, and then I would say
I would say YouTube's
TikTok next.
Okay, I would say YouTube.
I would
next.
say TikTok.
I don't really watch a
next.
lot of YouTube, but I also don't watch like a lot of TikTok.
Okay.
Snapchat is fun and it's funny, but like it's not that important to me.
You know what? Snapchat is actually my last.
Snapchat's your last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only have
The
it
bottom
for...
3 could like mix up on any given day.
Yes.
Like YouTube, I only use for podcasts or like random videos that I
Mm-hmm.
wanna for my childhood that I wanna bring back up.
Yeah,
Whereas like TikTok's like the newer shit and like it's funny, but
I like TikTok.
it's not like 100%. I'm also new. Like I've only had TikTok for like a month and a half now.
Okay.
So I'm
I
like brand
TikTok.
new to that shit.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the funny shit I see on TikTok is already on Twitter.
Yes. No, see,
And
and
that's the
that's what
thing-
they were talking about earlier when she ranked Twitter 4th. They were like, okay, well, I think for us, Twitter is number 1.
Yeah.
And they were telling her, like, I don't think you realize, like, all the stuff you see on Instagram hits Twitter a month before.
It does.
Yeah, and it really
does. Yeah. No, Twitter is the shit. If you don't have a Twitter, you're fucking lame
No,
at this
yeah.
point, bro. I had a Twitter.
You don't know people. You don't know people for real.
Yeah, I had a Twitter since like sophomore year in high school, and like it would surprise me like the shit I would see people like that I knew and I didn't think were like that would post on Twitter. I'm like, yo, like you're fucking mad funny on here, bro.
Twitter is telling. Twitter
Yeah,
is telling.
no, 100%. I fucking love that app.
Do you know what
I don't think I'll ever delete it.
Do you know what Twitter banging is? I heard this today.
Okay, explain. I'm interested. I'm interested now.
Dude, so I guess Twitter banging is when you fuck someone with 140 words or less. 140 words or less. I think that's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, like you like meet someone in person. It's not on Twitter at
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
meet someone
You
in
meet someone in
person,
person,
and
you
like
barely say anything.
You're able to close the deal like that in 140 words or less.
Don't think that's ever happened.
That is crazy. No, I just heard that today when I was I don't know. I was listening
I've
to the
never
shit
Twitter
show.
banged somebody.
No, me either. But like I was listening to the shit show and they have like a stupid word of the day and that was their word of the day today and I was like, how funny. Like that's so
That's
stupid.
fucking wild. If you've ever Twitter banged somebody, bro, I need to hear that story.
Hit me up so I can
I need to
so I
put that
can
on
shake
here.
your hand. Like cause what the fuck? How?
I'm sure I could probably name a couple of people that have probably done that.
Yeah, me too.
One of them has been on the two of them have been on the podcast.
Yeah, I can name them.
And you guys can infer who that's gonna be. Just pick the two. Well, not most recent to you guys, but two of the most recent ones.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they've done it. All right. Speaking of social media, what is the worst DM or message or anything you've ever received? One that stands out the most. There's got to be one. I don't get any crazy ones.
Well, it was. Well, like that's the most recent one I can think of, and it wasn't even a DM or anything. It was a question. And
Okay, what was the question?
fuck, give me a sec.
Okay, I think. Are you gonna find it?
Yeah, I'll find it quick.
Are you sure?
Yeah, hold on.
I've sent some like shots that have missed terribly. I can't like name them off tops.
I'll find it.
And I'm not gonna out myself like that. I would say my worst fear when sliding in the DMs is getting like posted on somebody's story.
Yeah, see, and that's like what I'm notorious for.
You
is,
are
like,
notorious for that.
You DM me something
Yeah.
funny, dude. I'ma post it.
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna scratch
dude,
the name out though.
Yeah, no, and I am respectful in that way. I don't even tell my friends, or like my friends don't even care to ask because we're all just kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
So like. I don't tell anybody who it is. Like nobody really asks because
Yeah.
it's just like a stupid
That would
fucking.
be
Nobody
mad
wants to really
embarrassing.
know. Yeah, and honestly, nobody really wants to know. But
No.
okay, yeah. So the question was Halloween coming up. Can I take you to the pumpkin patch so you can throw pumpkins at me? And I answered it and I said I'd be down to throw whatever at you, but everyone already hit.
Oh.
I think about that randomly and I laugh.
That's cold.
And like that's not even the I think I post a lot. I post a lot of DMs, but that one still makes me laugh. I think about that randomly.
That was
and it
recent,
cracks me
or was
up.
that last Halloween?
No, that was this Halloween. So this was last month.
This is last month. This is like
Sometime-
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, sometime last month, but it still makes me laugh. Like I still think about it randomly and I laugh. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's why I don't even write in questions no more.
Yeah, see, and I think at that point we had only exchanged probably like 15 messages, like just like a normal
it's like
conversation.
casual.
Yeah, very casual. Like we
Yeah.
only had one conversation, and then I posted a questionnaire, and he asked that, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. All right, worst DM to receive. So now, what's the worst date you've been on?
I think the worst dates I've ever been on have like been the ones I didn't know were dates.
Oh, like it was supposed to be like a casual thing.
Like I thought it was casual and it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are the
Those
worst
are
dates.
awkward.
Yeah, those are really awkward because like
get
I was
that.
just kind of like, oh, you're my friend, and then they try to lean in to kiss you, and you're like, oh,
It's not like that, homeboy.
no, like
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, like awk as fuck. Like let me finish this blunt and then I'm gonna go home because this is weird. Yeah,
I'm gonna get this in, but take me home right away.
Dude, the one time I'm thinking about, we were actually mid blunt and it was a bomb ass backwood covered in keef. Dude, yeah, and it was so sad because I was like, wow, like you ruined the high
I gotta break up with the
have.
blunt.
Yeah.
I don't even want to leave it, but I gotta break up with you and this blunt right now.
Yo, no, for
That's
real.
tough. The worst date I've been on is probably recent. It was one of like the first dates I went on since I was single.
Uh-huh.
And first of all, like her baby daddy called
Oh, she had a child.
while I was she had a kid. And he called and they were like talking and she's like bringing up child support and all this shit, and I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't want to hear this right now. Right?
What?
And then she proceeded to
On a Wednesday? She was bringing up child.
it was like on a Thursday, like straight up it was a weekday, bro. I was like, yeah, this is not the time. And
Or
then
the
the other
place.
thing that this is before we even got out of the car. Like she was giving me like a lot of information up front. Like
Red flag.
like
bro.
it's fine. Like I get it, like you want to get it off your chest early, but
That's
it was just like really early.
too early.
Yeah, like we were still driving to the place and I was like, oh shit, like this is a lot to take
fuck.
in. And then she proceeded to ask me like my horoscope, what day I was born on, all this shit.
She's mean.
And then and then went on like a on a page and was like, oh, it says we're like a 70% match because of our horoscopes. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, yeah, all I've ever dated is Aries. I'm like, okay.
You're like, well, damn, they fucking hate you,
Yeah,
bitch.
like-
It's
I was like, okay, well. And then she proceeded to tell me like 3 of her exes and talk about them. And I was like,
red flag.
yeah, this is, I'm ready to go home, but I mean, I can't really say that. I feel like an asshole. And it was my first date, like really like trying to get back out there. So I was like, is this like normal nowadays? I didn't really know like if it was or not. Definitely not. But yeah, that's probably the worst date I've been on. I mean, it got better throughout the rest of the time because we did hang out for a while. I was like, all right, let me
be normal, bitch.
just like see if like she fucking gets normal on me.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it kind of happened and it was cool. It ended up being fine and like.
But
whatever.
there was never a second date.
We hung out another time,
But it was.
but
like,
it was like more casual and like yeah. I was like, all right, like
And how many kids did she have?
she only had one.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was older than my kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was just like a really fucking awkward date. And
Yeah.
like, if you're on a date, do not bring up your fucking exes, bro.
No.
Like, I mean,
Especially
if they
you have
if they
kids.
ask like, and you have to answer, then answer. But don't like willingly bring it up on your
No.
own, because like that's just
Don't ever do that.
it's just awkward on both ends.
Yeah, just don't ever do that. Whether
Yeah.
it's a first date or not. Don't
Yeah.
ever do that.
Yeah, like there's really no reason. Like until y'all are like further down the line, then I could get it at that point. Like if y'all are getting into like a deeper conversation about it. Yeah, or if they ask, like I'm cool answering. Like I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not gonna just bring it up out of nowhere.
Right.
Because it's conversation killer. Like what the fuck do you ask after that? Like what do you say after that? You know, like they're just venting about their exes. You're like,
I gotta go.
Pretty much. Yeah. It was like all you could say. I just like, I don't know. I try to go with it, but not a good thing. Red flag.
Red flags.
Sure. What are your red flags?
Red flags for guys? Wait, hold on. I wrote some down.
You have a list? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Do you have one specifically for like if you go in a dude's room, what's a red flag?
No, I don't. Dude, I was breaking my head over that question because I was like, I don't. Like, I don't know. I think.
You don't have one?
No.
Like what would it be? If it's messy, if like.
No, because no, I don't think that's a red flag.
That's not a red flag to you?
No.
Okay.
At least not to me. I have brothers, though.
Oh, okay,
I have brothers. So I'm like, these motherfuckers are just messy. Like, it's just. It would kind of be a red flag if they weren't, I think. Like
if they weren't messy?
If they weren't too messy, or if they were just like extra clean, I think that's like, oh.
Really?
You're a little scarred. Yeah.
Scarred? Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, who hurt you? What'd your mom do to you growing up? Why do you clean like this? No, I mean, that's cool, but it's just like the having a messy room is not a red flag. At least not to me.
If there's anything specific in the room, red flag?
No, I was trying to
like if they got like a Saturdays are for the boys flag.
Okay.
Is that a red flag?
That I don't even think I fucking have to speak on. I think if any guy even says Saturdays are for the boys, bitch, run from that fucking boy because he's not a man.
Oh
like,
my god, I hit that shit right on the head right there.
What the fuck? What is that? But no, if he has a privacy screen,
that's a red flag.
Bae. That's a red flag. Like, you gotta get the fuck up out of there.
Okay.
If they text you, like they don't.
Okay.
Like they don't say like, ha. No, if they're like, like, no, oh my god, that man's a player, bro. Get out of there. I'm gonna start laughing like that. Don't start. I think if they're quick to say things are gay, like if they're quick to just be like anything's gay, like they're not in touch with their sexuality or like comfortable like that, that is the biggest red flag. And that actually pisses me off. Like even as a friend, not even just as like a partner, but like as a friend, if you're quick to say anything is gay, like I just gotta go. Like just because
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. That's how we're gonna name drop him on this pod because he's been on here. Malik with the hot dogs. Mm-hmm. That man will not eat anything shaped like a penis. I feel terrible for him. He won't eat fucking hot dogs. He won't eat mozzarella sticks.
You know what I was laughing at?
You know
earlier?
what he reminds me of? He reminds me of the dude from Superbad that used to draw dicks, and then he couldn't eat anything shaped like a dick. That's Malik, bro. That's fucking Malik.
He gets in trouble in like 3rd grade.
Yes, he's traumatized from like drawing too many dicks or thinking about it, bro. That's the only way.
Dude.
Like, bro, you're missing out on hot dogs, popsicles, mozzarella sticks. Bro, those are fucking big 3
Malik
right there.
had me fucked up when he started talking about his prostate exam.
Oh,
and how
yeah.
Yeah. It was when he said, I looked at his hands and...
Big old fingers?
Yeah. Dude, Malik is different. He is stubborn on a different level. Like
100%.
He is the lion. He really is the lion. Dude.
Okay, you got more red flags? Or is that it?
No, I have more.
Okay, let's hear this shit. If you got any of these, cut them out of your fucking life, bro. You ain't getting a bitch at all.
No, for real. If he only texts you at night, that's for sure a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Period. Like
I can get that.
If they try to act like they're too busy at work or too busy doing anything during the day, like they can't send you a text once every hour, bro. No, they're with somebody else. If they can't take no or agree to disagree, that is another red flag.
Okay.
They can't agree to disagree or understand like when you say no. Girl. And their friend group. I think their friend group is very telling. Like you have to take note of that and take note of who they are, and you can't just be like, oh, I don't like them, because your man is hanging out with them for a reason. They are in a way like them, or at least okay with what they do. So if you don't like that friend, your man is a little bit of that person, you know?
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it?
I think that's it.
Well, men, boys, y'all heard the red flags. Y'all better cut that shit out ASAP, bro. Expeditiously. The friend group one is really fucking good. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I have like 2 different friend groups. Like I have like my core group, and then I have like my friends that like I go out with and stuff. And
So you're a mysterious red flag, is what you're saying.
Is it a mysterious red flag?
Yeah.
You think so?
So you're orange.
I'm an orange flag. I could live with that. At least I'm not red, I guess. I'm like a yellow light
You're
at the
like
stop sign.
Yeah, like stay alert type flag.
No, I mean I could get it. I mean you could say the same thing with women, like their friend group.
Yeah.
Like if they can't keep friends, that's a red flag.
Yes, that
like
is.
If you cannot keep friends,
Yeah.
that is a red flag, because that either means you're an issue or the people you pick are an issue.
But either way, it's an issue within you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit. You got anything else?
No.
You good?
I'm good.
How do you feel about it? You're a little nervous coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you did great. Honestly, you did great. This is a great pod, I think.
We'll see.
I think people got both sides of the whole single parent thing, which is nice.
Yeah, because before I came, when I was listening to a few pods, I was like, oh, hell no. Somebody got to be there to defend the bitches.
Yeah, no,
these
100%.
men.
Yeah, no, I mean, we need more females to come on, like, to give the other side. Whether you're a mom or you're not, like,
yeah.
I feel like it's just good in general to get a different population of people on here.
Right.
You know, we're bringing, like, our friends on, like, and stuff. And
it's just a start.
People that we know that have, like, lived life and have funny stories or good stories or interesting stories.
Yeah, have experience of some sort.
In some way. And, like, yeah, so, like, if you're a female and you want to come on here, let me know. Let me and Andy know. We'll think about it. Not everybody's going to get on. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, we've had people try to get on. Not everybody's going to get on, but, you know, we're going to come on. We're going to have a good time. And, yeah.
I wasn't even supposed to come on.
That's true. We did have another single mom that was supposed to come on, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Shelly. Thank you so much. 2 single dads on Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, and now we are officially going to be on Patreon. So if y'all want to hear some uncensored shit, you want to hear what the name Shelly dropped today? If you want to hear some more uncensored shit, I'm not going to say... I'm not going to say everything's uncensored, but most of the shit's going to be uncensored. So go check that out. Well, I'll have a link like in the Instagram bio and everything. We'll get that shit set up. But yeah.
Yeah, not everything. Not everything's gonna be uncensored.
Oh, she's scared now. Yeah. She's scared.
I'm thinking about life right now.
She's scared now. Yeah, no. We're gonna pick and choose. It's not gonna be everything. You're definitely gonna get a exclusive episode on Patreon though.
Yeah.
That's only gonna be on there. It's never gonna be on anything else. So like, if you want to hear more, the link will be in my bio really soon. As soon as probably you hear this shit. So. 2 single dads, 2 single parents.
2 single parents.
Andy will be back.
Andy.
Andy will be back next week. He's serving his suspension by hanging out with his girlfriend, which is not a bad discipline.
I'm going to try to make this permanent, though. Promise.
Yeah, we're going to have the Shelly guest appearance.
More
co-host,
often.
Co-host appearance more often.
I'm just going to start invading the space.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, shit. We do need a few more perspectives. Andy started dating our last one, so we'll see how that goes. This is the 2 Single Parents podcast. We're out, bitch.